Margaret was 74 when she first walked into Dr. Peterson's office, dark circles under her eyes, her shoulders slumped with exhaustion. She hadn't slept through the night in months. Every evening she'd lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, her mind racing with worries about her late husband, her grown children, the bills piling up on her kitchen table. "I just need something to help me sleep," she pleaded with her doctor. "Just something simple." "Does he?" Peterson, running behind schedule with a waiting room full of patients, barely looked up from his prescription pad. Within 5 minutes, Margaret walked out with a bottle of sleeping pills and what seemed like the promise of peaceful nights ahead. What happened next changed everything. 3 weeks later, Margaret's daughter found her mother on the bathroom floor at 2 a.m., confused and disoriented, with no memory of how she got there. The fall had left her with a bruised hip and a growing fear that something was terribly wrong. This wasn't an isolated incident. What Margaret didn't know, what her doctor didn't take the time to explain, was that sleeping pills can be particularly dangerous for people over 60. And the risks go far beyond what most seniors realize. If you're over 60 and taking sleeping pills, or if you've been considering them, this video might save your life. Because what I'm about to share with you are the hidden dangers that the medical community rarely discusses openly, the side effects that can steal your independence, your memory, and in some cases, your life. Before we dive deep into this critical topic, I want to know where you're watching from today. Drop a comment below with your age and location, and if you've ever experienced problems with sleep medications, please share your story. Your experience could help someone else avoid a dangerous situation. And please hit that subscribe button. The information I'm sharing today is something every senior needs to know, but many doctors simply don't have the time or the incentive to explain thoroughly. Now let's start with the truth about what sleeping pills really do to the aging brain. When you're younger, your body processes medications differently. Your liver works more efficiently, your kidneys filter toxins faster, and your brain can handle chemical changes without major disruption. But after 60, everything changes. Your metabolism slows down significantly. This means that sleeping pill that might clear out of a 30-year-old system in 4 hours could linger in your body for 12 hours or more. While you think you're just getting a good night's sleep, you're actually walking around the next day with medication still affecting your brain, your balance, and your judgment. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a geriatrician with over 20 years of experience, explains it this way. "When I see seniors who've been on sleeping pills for months or years, I often find they've developed what we call medication fog. They're not fully awake, but they're not asleep either. They're living in this dangerous middle ground where falls, confusion, and poor decision-making become daily risks." The most commonly prescribed sleeping pills for seniors include zolpidem, better known as Ambien, lorazepam, and esopiclone. These medications work by depressing your central nervous system, essentially forcing your brain to slow down. But here's what most people don't realize. Your brain doesn't distinguish between the sleep you need and the other critical functions it needs to perform. When you take these medications regularly, you're not just affecting your sleep cycle. You're impacting your memory formation, your balance, your ability to make quick decisions, and your body's natural sleep-wake rhythm. It's like putting a blanket over your brain's control center and hoping only the sleep switch gets covered. Let me tell you about Robert, a 68-year-old retired teacher who started taking Ambien after his wife passed away. For the first few weeks, he felt grateful. He was finally sleeping through the night, but slowly, his adult children began noticing changes. He'd call them and repeat the same story 3 times in one conversation. He'd forget appointments he'd made just days before. He started having trouble with simple tasks like balancing his checkbook. Robert's family thought he was developing dementia. They were already discussing assisted living options when his daughter, a nurse, suggested he talk to his doctor about his sleeping pills. Within 2 weeks of gradually reducing his medication, Robert's mental clarity began returning. The dementia his family feared was actually medication-induced cognitive impairment. This is more common than you might think. Studies show that long-term use of sleep medications can cause symptoms that mimic dementia, including memory loss, confusion, and difficulty with complex thinking. The terrifying part is that many families and even some doctors mistake these symptoms for natural aging or the beginning of Alzheimer's disease. But cognitive impairment is just the beginning. The physical risks are equally alarming. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related death among seniors, and sleeping pills significantly increase your risk. Even if you take your medication hours before bedtime, the effects can linger well into the next day. You might feel fine, but your reaction time is slowed, your balance is compromised, and your depth perception is altered. Helen, a 72-year-old grandmother, learned this the hard way. She'd been taking a sleeping pill every night for 6 months when she fell down her stairs one morning while getting the newspaper. She didn't feel dizzy or unsteady, but surveillance video from her neighbor's security camera showed her stumbling slightly at the top of the stairs, missing the first step entirely. The fall resulted in a broken wrist and 2 cracked ribs. But the real tragedy was what happened next. The fear of falling again led Helen to become increasingly sedentary. She stopped her daily walks, avoided stairs whenever possible, and within a year, her overall health had declined significantly. What started as a simple sleep aid had cascaded into a complete loss of independence. Research published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors taking sleeping pills are 4.5 times more likely to experience a fall compared to those not taking these medications. The risk is highest during the first 2 weeks of use, but it remains elevated for as long as you continue taking the medication. And then there's the issue that most doctors don't discuss at all: dependency and withdrawal. Sleeping pills were never designed for long-term use. Most are approved for short-term treatment, typically no more than a few weeks. But in reality, many seniors end up taking them for months or even years. What happens is a process called tolerance. Your brain gradually adapts to the medication, requiring higher doses to achieve the same effect. But there's a cruel irony here. As your body becomes dependent on the medication, your natural ability to sleep actually deteriorates. This is called rebound insomnia, and it's far worse than the original sleep problem. When you try to stop taking the medication, you experience intense insomnia, anxiety, and sometimes even hallucinations. Many seniors, terrified by these withdrawal symptoms, conclude that they need the medication to survive. Martha, 79, described her experience this way. "I started taking sleeping pills after my husband died. I couldn't sleep for the grief, but after 6 months, I realized I couldn't sleep without them either. When I tried to stop, I would lie awake for entire nights, my heart racing, feeling like I was losing my mind. I felt trapped." Martha's story is tragically common. The medication that was supposed to help her through a difficult period had actually made her sleep problems worse and created a dependency that felt impossible to break. But perhaps the most disturbing revelation is the connection between long-term sleeping pill use and increased mortality risk. A large-scale study published in the British Medical Journal followed over 10,000 seniors for several years. The results were shocking. Those who took sleeping pills regularly had a 36% higher risk of death compared to those who didn't use these medications. The risk increased with both the frequency of use and the strength of the medication. Dr. Daniel Kripke, who led the study, stated, "We found that people who took sleeping pills died sooner than people who didn't take sleeping pills. The effect was clear and consistent across different types of sleeping medications." The mechanisms behind this increased mortality risk are complex. Some deaths are directly related to falls and accidents. Others are linked to the respiratory depression that can occur when these medications interact with other drugs or health conditions. Some appear to be related to the long-term impact on the immune system and overall health. What makes this particularly concerning is that many seniors are taking multiple medications. Sleep aids can interact dangerously with blood pressure medications, pain relievers, and even over-the-counter drugs. Your body's ability to process these drug combinations safely decreases with age, creating a perfect storm of potential complications. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds terrifying, but what about the seniors who genuinely can't sleep? What about the crushing insomnia that makes daily life unbearable? The truth is, there are safer, more effective ways to address sleep problems in seniors, but these solutions require more effort than simply swallowing a pill, and they're not as profitable for pharmaceutical companies. Let me share with you the story of Dorothy, an 81-year-old woman who had been taking sleeping pills for 3 years. She came to a sleep clinic feeling hopeless, convinced she would never sleep naturally again. The sleep specialist, Dr. Rebecca Chen, took a different approach. Instead of prescribing stronger medications, she worked with Dorothy to identify the real causes of her sleep problems. They discovered that Dorothy's afternoon coffee habit was keeping her awake, her bedroom was too warm, and she was spending too much time in bed worrying about not sleeping. Through a process called cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, Dorothy learned to change her relationship with sleep. She established a consistent bedtime routine, limited her time in bed to actual sleep, and practiced relaxation techniques. Within 2 months, she was sleeping better than she had in years, without any medication. The key was addressing the root causes, rather than just masking the symptoms. Many sleep problems in seniors are actually related to lifestyle factors that can be changed. Poor sleep hygiene, irregular schedules, too much daytime napping, lack of physical activity, and evening screen time can all contribute to insomnia. Medical conditions like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, and chronic pain can also disrupt sleep, but these require specific treatment, not general sedation. Sometimes the solution is as simple as adjusting your environment. Your bedroom should be cool, dark, and quiet. Your mattress should be comfortable and supportive. You should avoid large meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime. Regular physical activity, even just a daily walk, can significantly improve sleep quality. Exposure to natural light during the day helps regulate your circadian rhythm. Simple relaxation techniques like deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, or gentle stretching can help your body prepare for sleep naturally. But what if you're currently taking sleeping pills and want to stop? This is where it gets crucial to understand that you cannot simply quit cold turkey. The withdrawal symptoms can be dangerous, especially if you've been taking the medication for months or years. James, a 70-year-old retired engineer, made the mistake of stopping his sleeping pills abruptly after reading about the risks. Within 48 hours, he was experiencing severe anxiety, confusion, and what he described as feeling like my skin was crawling. His family took him to the emergency room, where doctors had to reinstate his medication to prevent potentially dangerous withdrawal symptoms. The safe way to stop sleeping pills is through a gradual tapering process, ideally under medical supervision. This might involve reducing your dose by 25% every week or two, allowing your brain to readjust slowly. Some doctors recommend switching to a longer-acting medication before tapering, as this can make the process smoother. During the withdrawal process, you might experience temporary increases in anxiety, insomnia, and physical discomfort. This is normal and expected. Your brain is relearning how to regulate sleep naturally, and this takes time. Support during this process is crucial. This might include counseling, stress management techniques, and temporary use of non-medication sleep aids like melatonin or valerian root. Some people find that acupuncture, massage, or other complementary therapies help during the transition. The good news is that most people who successfully taper off sleeping pills find that their natural sleep eventually returns, often better than it was while they were taking medication. But it requires patience, commitment, and often professional support. Let me tell you about the alternatives that many seniors have found helpful. Melatonin is a natural hormone that regulates sleep-wake cycles. As we age, our bodies produce less melatonin, which can contribute to sleep problems. Melatonin supplements are generally safer for seniors than prescription sleeping pills, but they should still be used carefully. The key is taking the right dose at the right time. Most people take too much and take it too late in the evening. Magnesium is another natural option that many seniors find helpful. This mineral helps relax muscles and calm the nervous system. Many older adults are deficient in magnesium, and supplementation can improve both sleep quality and overall health. Herbal teas like chamomile, passionflower, or valerian root have been used for centuries to promote relaxation and sleep. While these aren't as potent as prescription medications, they're much safer and can be effective for mild to moderate sleep problems. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBTI, is considered the gold standard for treating chronic insomnia. This approach helps you identify and change the thoughts and behaviors that interfere with sleep. It's more effective than sleeping pills for long-term sleep improvement, and the benefits last even after treatment ends. Some seniors find relief through meditation, yoga, or Tai Chi. These practices not only promote relaxation, but also help manage the stress and anxiety that often contribute to sleep problems. Sleep hygiene education is crucial. This involves learning about the factors that promote good sleep and making changes to optimize your sleep environment and routine. For some seniors, addressing underlying health conditions is the key to better sleep. Sleep apnea, for example, is common in older adults and can severely disrupt sleep quality. Treatment with a CPAP machine or other interventions can dramatically improve sleep without the need for medication. Now, I want to be clear about something important. If you're currently taking sleeping pills, please don't stop taking them suddenly after watching this video. The withdrawal process can be dangerous and should be done under medical supervision. Instead, use this information to have an informed conversation with your doctor. Ask about the long-term risks of your current medication. Discuss alternatives and ask about a gradual tapering plan if you want to stop. If your doctor dismisses your concerns or insists that sleeping pills are perfectly safe for long-term use, consider seeking a second opinion. Some doctors are more aware of these risks than others, and some are more willing to explore non-medication alternatives. Remember, you have the right to understand the risks and benefits of any medication you're taking. You have the right to explore alternatives, and you have the right to make informed decisions about your own healthcare. Here's what I want you to do after watching this video. First, if you're taking sleeping pills, make a list of all the medications you're currently taking, including over-the-counter drugs and supplements. Note how long you've been taking each one and any side effects you've experienced. Second, start a sleep diary. For 1 week, track your sleep patterns, including what time you go to bed, how long it takes you to fall asleep, how often you wake up during the night, and how you feel in the morning. Also note your daily activities, caffeine intake, and any stressful events. Third, evaluate your sleep environment. Is your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet? Is your mattress comfortable? Are you using electronic devices close to bedtime? Fourth, consider your daily routine. Are you getting enough physical activity? Are you spending time in natural light? Are you napping too much during the day? Finally, schedule an appointment with your doctor to discuss your sleep concerns and your current medications. Come prepared with questions and be honest about any problems you've experienced. The goal isn't to suffer through sleepless nights. The goal is to find safe, effective ways to improve your sleep without putting your health and independence at risk. Margaret, the woman I told you about at the beginning of this video, eventually worked with her doctor to taper off her sleeping pills. The process took several months and wasn't always easy, but today, at 76, she sleeps better than she has in years. She uses a combination of melatonin, relaxation techniques, and good sleep hygiene to maintain healthy sleep patterns. More importantly, she's mentally sharp, physically stable, and living independently. She often tells people that stopping those sleeping pills was one of the best decisions she ever made. Your sleep matters, your health matters, and you deserve to have all the information you need to make the best decisions for your life. If this video has opened your eyes to information you didn't know before, please share it with other seniors in your life. Too many older adults are taking these medications without understanding the risks. Your sharing could literally save someone's life or prevent a serious injury. Leave a comment below, sharing your own experience with sleep medications or sleep problems. Your story could help someone else who's struggling with similar issues. And please, subscribe to our channel. We're committed to sharing the health information that seniors need to know, information that isn't always readily available from other sources. Remember, aging doesn't have to mean accepting poor sleep or dangerous medications. There are safer paths to the rest you deserve. The first step is having the knowledge to make informed choices. Sleep well, stay safe, and take care of yourself. You're worth it.